I've been reading this. I've been reading my work phone whilst I'm meant to be video making. I realised actually maybe I should be so Philip Green hits back at pensions regulator of BHS claims. Daily Telegraph yesterday. Arcadia, the retail group owned by Sir Philip Green, has stood up to the pensions regulator, accused of that's the retailer BHS. Earlier this week, Leslie Timm, chief executive, £1 to the retail acquisitions through the newspapers. Next up, the Telegraph, page 11. Bank expects trouble if Britain votes for Brexit. Chancellor George Osborne has said that the Treasury and the Bank of England are planning for very significant financial volatility. UK votes. Mr. Osborne said, I think there would be very significant financial volatility on the vote to leave, and the Bank of England and the Treasury are doing quite a serious amount of contingency planning for the impact of financial stability. Next day, Telegraph, the US management has financial policy behind Remain. Daily Telegraph, show that US bank Citigroup and Morgan Stanley donated £250,000 each to the official Britain Stronger in Europe group ahead of the June 23rd referendum. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan donated £500,000 each to the campaign before the end of February, when the donations had to be declared. Next, page 2. Interesting. Business Insight Aldermore Bank. Aldermore reports its first quarter financial results on Thursday. The bank originated £550 million of loans in the first 3 months of the year. 9% business model is also lending in the sector market, asset finance and invoice for smaller businesses. Daily Telegraph, page 8. Troubling times for peer-to-peer after turmoil at Lending Club. Tim Wallace says the lending club crisis raises tough questions for the peer-to-peer lending sector. Specifically, he asks how trustworthy the details that UK peer-to-peer firms publish about their loans are, how good the firm's internal credit ratings are. Onto the Times yesterday, page 1. Punish banks for fraud by staff. At an anti-corruption summit today, David Cameron is to announce employees engaged in money laundering, embezzlement and tax evasion. Times, page 37. MPs misled by pensions watchdog on BHS sale. Sir Philip Green has accused the head of the pensions regulator of getting a fax wrong over the BHS pension scheme. And Arcadia, the retail group owned by Sir Philip Green, contacts MPs to tell them that discussions between Arcadia BHS pension fund trustees and the pensions regulator since at least July 2014. He and Philip Green have accused the pension regulator of getting their facts wrong when they said they'd not been told of plans to sell BHS until it's reported in the papers. Pension off, the Times, page 39. Comment on the BHS pension fund, which is now such a state that it's got £571 million hole in it. So Philip now says that given the urgent sale transaction, a restructuring of the pension fund could not be agreed with pension regulator because the timescales available. The Times, page 39. Formula Barclays Bank has been denied for fixed control. Peter Johnson, age 62, has been named as the former Barclays banker who was the first to plead guilty in the LIBOR scandal after a court lifted a reported ban yesterday. Mr. Johnson, who was employed by Barclays as a submitted for the benchmark interbank lending rate in London, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud in October 2014. The Serious Fraud Office said the ban was lifted because of the prosecution in the ongoing trial of 5 of Mr. Johnson's former colleagues want to adduce it in the evidence. 5 men, including Jonathan Matthew, a submitter who worked with Mr. Johnson, all deny the charge of conspiracy to defraud. Next, The Times, page 42. The profile of Sherry Maguire, who has been appointed as the Chief Information Security Officer at the Standard Chartered. Miss Maguire is currently Vice President of Affairs and Cybersecurity Policy at Symantec. Michael Goritz, who will be her boss at Standard Chartered, has said that Miss Maguire was an accomplished technology executive, adding that at Standard Chartered, information protection and cybersecurity are top priorities. On to The Guardian. Guardian, page 6, Treasury and Bank making plans to cope with Brexit, says Osborne. It's reported in The Guardian that the UK Chancellor George Osborne put together detailed contingency planning in case of a vote to leave the European Union if the forthcoming referendum is reached. The Chancellor said that there would be very significant financial volatility if voters chose to leave, while speaking to the Treasury Select Committee. Regarding page 24, Reuters regulator knew about BHS sale. Philip Green has rebutted a claim by the head of the pensions regulator that only found out about the sale of BHS after reading about it in newspapers. In the later stage of the row over the collapse of the department store chain, Green said that Leslie Titcombe had given incorrect evidence during the hearing of the MPs. Page 25. Just answer the question. Comment on the BHS pension scheme shortfall. So Philip Green expressed a strong wish to remain the solution of the pension scheme in the week before the sale, but the pensions regulator approach didn't allow a speedy discussion. Niels Pratley says Green's answer to one key question is still keenly awaited. Why on earth do you think the Retail Acquisitions was a suitable purchaser of the business? The Daily Mail, page 67. Green riposte. So Philip Green's Arcadia has sent a 3-page letter to the parliamentary committees examining the sale of BHS, criticising Leslie Titcombe, the head of pensions regulator, for testimony. She'd only become aware of the BHS sale from the media. In the evening news, mortgages made available to over 80s. Last week, Halifax had increased its age limit for mortgage borrowing to 80, while on Monday, Nationwide said it would increase its age limit to 85. Henry Jordan, head of mortgage at Nationwide, said access to the mainstream market has been a challenge for older customers, resulting in the needs going unfulfilled, and this measure helps to address these needs and improve customers often asset-rich with significant equity to their home. They wish to have flexibility to borrow against it. Cool, that was Kantar yesterday. I have another email. Sarah Benison free cake. Oh shit! I was meant to forward this to someone. I wasn't meant to forward it to. Ian Cheeser, that's right. Let's look at other things. Policy and Public Affairs update. Bank of England intervention in EU referendum update. Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee has warned that a vote to leave the EU could result in a materially lower path for growth and a notably higher path for inflation. The MPC also said that in the event of the UK leaving the EU, households could defer consumption and firms delay investment, lowering labour demand and causing unemployment to rise. Chancellor George Osborne described the announcement as a clear and unequivocal warning. Columnists in the Leave camp, including Professor Patrick Minford, a former economic advisor to Margaret Thatcher, disagreed in the analysis, arguing that leaving the EU would free the UK economy from the EU's custody. I'm definitely missing an email here somewhere.